Hello, Cherie Hanson here. We have a gorgeous day. The hills are covered in snow and the trees are porcupining up through the white to create the fingers of forest. And Todd is out frolicking, very happy. Today I was sitting in meditation and I was thinking about the 10,000 excuses. The 10,000 excuses. And the next part of this is what Taylor Swift and my cat taught me. So to begin, we begin talking about why we don't begin. We have our behavior, as I used to watch my kids take a stick and make a rivulet down a hillside, and then when it rained or the snow melted, it would run into the groove that had been created. And that is so like our brains. We have neurological pathways for habits, and we have done something 10,000 times, then we just do it. There's no resistance. Now, if that is every time I feel a little bit upset, I go to the refrigerator and get out cheese, then that's what I'm going to do. When do we change these habits? We have to first hold intention. But as we hold this intention, as we sit with the vision of what our lives could be like if we had the habit, what's going to happen is it's kind of like the ego kicks the door in, and like a fireman, but a fireman that's bringing fire, not putting fire out. So the ego starts telling you this long, moaning victim story about why it isn't right now. Right now is not right now. I'm too tired. I didn't sleep well enough last night. I don't have any time. I'm too old. I don't have enough money. I'm just too depressed. And you can go on and on and on. It's like a cross-stitch sampler that you can hang on the wall of your living room. It gets to be so big. So this is something that I think is really interesting to look at, is how we're hardwired to have a habit of victimhood, weakness, not having agency. I can't. I'll just wait. I'll wait until, I'll just wait. And I have done that so much over the last 3 years. I had my hip fail. I couldn't walk or sit or drive. That restricted me from going out of the house. And so I have now built up just beautiful, deep neurological pathways in my brain for can't, don't want to, not right time. And as I look at that, I think about, in a way, I'm kind of full of admiration for the skill that I bring to that. And I look at when I was 16 and graduated from high school and then went to university at 17 across the state with nobody. I knew nobody. And here I am out of my hometown, no friends around me. And I signed up for every class I could get. I was just gorging my brain in information. I went to all of the concerts and the dance performances and the talks from intellectual leaders and the film festivals, everything. I went to everything. But I think the thing that was different is that I had pivoted or disrupted. I'm not living in the same place I was living in before. I am surrounded by so much intellectual and cultural information, which is my sweet place to live. And so we're ready because we've got the triggers, we've got the signs that this is new. This is a new thing. This is a new life. This is a new way. So when you're in the same environment, going to the same job with the same routine, what happens is it becomes very, very difficult to begin a new energy pattern, a new self, to create a new self. So then we have to fall back on understanding that the ego is working so hard to keep us from becoming energized and brilliant and, excited about life and not afraid. And yesterday I watched a video about Taylor Swift. All of her masters were taken. Now, what that means for those who aren't in the music industry is that everything she had created in her life was now owned by somebody else. She couldn't use those. They weren't hers any longer. It's like the old woman who lives in a shoe and, social services came along and took all the kids. And what she did was she employed the idea of Amor Fati. Amor Fati is a Stoic meme. It means to love your fate. So fate hits you, something outside of your control hits you, and you see that as an opportunity. It's a disruption. Think about that. Disruption can be one of the greatest catalysts for us getting our ass in gear. Like, this isn't working. I'm going to create a new future. And so she began to re-record every song she had ever written and put it up on social media. And what she found was that she became more deeply emotionally attached to the song, and she found a more powerful way of expressing those lyrics, and she learned new techniques. So it's like people who come to a place where the things they have built burn to the ground, don't work, and that is the time we love. We love it because now there's nothing holding you back. No old habits, no routines of triviality, no taking a Q-tip to the corners of the windows to get the dirt out instead of dancing and writing. And the other teacher for me has been Todd, my cat. Do you know that the Russian blues was brought to Queen Victoria's exposition because they were so exotic, and they called it the Archangel cat? And I often think that this is my Archangel guardian cat. He has been floppy. It's been too cold, there's been snow, there's been hail, there's been terrible wind. He's not going outside. All he does is nap all day. Well, the first day there's sunshine, he shoots out the door. He doesn't stand inside the doorway going, oh, I've got a habit of staying in the house. I think I'll just stay in here, until my habit changes all by itself. And I'm watching him run to the door and ask to go out by putting his paw up in a Heil Hitler salute, which is his way of talking. And I think I can do that. I can just change immediately. This is something I want to lay down as a neuron. More open to who I could become, more open to the joy of a new thing, and less trained to be in a state of protective fear. So we go from this, yes, I had to learn these things to survive, but now I want more of my skills and talents and energy to get out into the world. And so Taylor Swift showed me how she took a shutdown situation and created this following, this opportunity to make herself a multimillionaire, instead of laying down in a corner drinking and watching Netflix. I don't drink, but I certainly do the streaming addiction. So that was my thought for today. My thought for today was how we are trapped by our habits if we're not paying attention to them, if we're not asking the question, does this habit serve me? Is this a good choice in my life? Who do I want to be? How do I want to feel about me, about my future, about my life? That's up to me, and I need to retrain my brain. Please subscribe and like my video. I would also ask if you have somebody who's sitting in the same kind of mind prison that I've been sitting in for the last year. Send a link over to them of these videos. If it can help somebody, help somebody. And the other thing is I am doing coaching and channeling, psychic readings. And what I do is I take the client, I don't have to be in the room with them. I do a scan, I listen to their guides, I see what the issue is, kind of like a mechanic. When you take your car to a garage, I hear a noise, what is it? And I can see it, I can hear it. And we can work together to make a new contract between you and you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you.